Okay, again, how are you? Good. All right. So what I like to do is always just know a little bit more about how long you've been working on this piece. How long have you been studying? 3 months? 4 months?
I'm not sure.
Just doing the math, eh?
5.
Great. So you, there's some really beautiful things that you're doing in here. Some really wonderful colors. You're very sensitive playing. I want to help you take that further. Okay? What can you tell me about Chopin and his writing the Nocturne style? I'm looking for a very specific term.
Like, he does it similar to like an opera singing.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay? Bel canto. Okay, are you familiar with that? You know what bel canto means? Bel's beautiful canto singing. Beautiful singing, beautiful voice. And so when we're doing a nocturne, and we always want to make sure that that voice is heard. We always want to make sure that the melody line is always projecting. That's one thing. And the other thing I want to show you is to do things with color. Okay? So when I think about a nocturne, nighttime music, not all nighttime music is pleasant. Like this is a very beautiful piece, right? You have, nighttime could be nightmarish, right? It could be mysterious. This is actually more like a lullaby. It's very beautiful, right? So we want to think of creating really magical and expressive colors, and I'll show you some really cool ways to do that. Okay? I like what you do at the very beginning. I thought that's very smart to use 2 hands to start that. Okay? Very smart. I would do that also here at the end with this one. Okay? Because this is just holding a half note dot, and you have a pedal here, right? I'd actually take the right hand and cross it over and play there instead of making a loop. Okay? Can we try that maybe from here? Okay? First. Right. You see, so the idea is that you can really control that sound, right? And you're not feeling like you have to leap down there and jump back up, because that's what you did at the very beginning, right? Okay. Next thing is, let's start from here. Let's go to the end. I want you to look at this pedal marking. Okay. Where is it telling you to change the pedal? Okay, but when do you change it after that? No. Where does he ask you to change it? Never. That's really important. He doesn't ask you to change it. You want to hold this pedal all the way through to the end. Okay? I'm going to give you some instructions. So go ahead and do that. Bigger retardando here. Okay? When you get to this note, this last chord, I want you to play it and don't move. Okay? Be as still as a statue. Go from there. Your fingers off the keys, but don't change the pedal. Slowly lift the pedal up. Okay, slide over. I'll show you. So the idea here is that you want the sound to evaporate. Okay? So you have this, up, and bring it down too. Did you hear anything? Did you hear how silent everyone was? They were waiting, right? They didn't know what I was going to do, but I got everyone in the audience to wait for me. Okay, try that. Because you know what? You're the performer. You control your audience, right? You're going to end this thing so beautifully, and you're going to take your time. Fermata, what does that mean? The theory term for fermata is to hold it for a time and a half, right? Fermata in Italian doesn't mean that. You know what fermata means in Italian? To stop. You stop. Everything stops. And then at the end, I just slowly inch the pedal up so that the sound starts to disappear. Okay? Just do these last two chords. Motionless. I'm going to chord it down too. Very gentle. Release the notes. Let the pedal do the work for you now. Slow. Okay? Is that effective? So that's something you have to work. You got to be patient with the pedal. Okay? You have to be really, really patient with it. Okay, let's go from the beginning here. All right? Can you make your left hand softer? Okay? Very, very soft. Okay, let's start that again. This is going to set it all up. How soft can you play this? Okay, so even this D flat, I would use my right hand with it. Used it for here, use it for here too. Almost. Slide over. This is very similar, by the way, to the opening of the show, to the list of D flat major constellation. It's also in D flat major, by the way. Number 3. So you can do it this way. This is one other way. Left hand here, and then move on. Or you can do it the way you did it. But the idea is to go as soft as you possibly can. Okay, go ahead and try that. Oh, too loud. Let's try it again. want to take this much softer. Look at this pedal marking. It's going all the way through the first 4 measures, yeah? No pedal changes. Did you put pedal change in there? Okay, do what Chopin says, okay? One of the important things as a musician, for all of us, is that if the composer wrote it, we should do it. It's just their intention. This is a very good edition, by the way. The Henley edition of this is very good. So we can trust that Chopin wrote this, okay? And that's a challenge to you. This is, can I play softer? Can I be in control to get the opening of this thing to be so magical? Okay, let's try it again. Resist that temptation to change until here. More like an ornament. Sing it out. So you want to bring this note in underneath the G and crescendo through. Don't be in a rush for that. Okay? Now, here's another reason why you're extending the pedal through. Because the first harmonic changes where? Where does he change? Right. Do you know what harmony this is? So he has a D flat major. What's the next harmony he's going to go to? This one. Or we can do it this way. Yeah, a D flat, right? But he also has a pedal point, right? He's got the tonic pedal point running underneath. So that's part of the changes, so we can clearly hear this happening, but we still want to keep it super, super quiet. Okay? That's color in music form. Okay? Let's go from right here, keep going on. Left hand as soft as you can. Can you tell me how you practice these thirds and these sort of double notes in the melody everywhere in the piece? You just play them? Okay, that's fine. I want to show you a way. Stand up for a second. When I see double notes and I see these sorts of things in Chopin, what I like to do is this. I take one finger. This is what I do. And I try to create a line with one finger. Do you know how hard that is? It's very hard, right? Because it's going to be detached. So the idea is for you to hear that line. And then I use a different finger maybe. I can't physically join everything, but I'm tonally trying to do it, and dynamically do it. Then I will do it like this. And then I'll do it like this. The double third is very tricky, so I'm going to isolate it. Can you just do those 7 melody notes? Pick a finger, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and make it as beautiful as you can. Connect as much as you can. One finger. Good. It's all around the same sound. Now, we want to shape it down, right? We have the decrescendos, so lead it so that this is the softest note. Softer, gentle. Great, now play it with one hand, just the top notes. Right. See, that's my process for developing the line. Okay? So you can do that here. You can do it here with that rhythm. You can do it here with the melismatic passages. You can do it with the octaves. Okay? You can do that in Chopin. You can do it in Mendelssohn. You can do it in Mozart. A single finger. Was that easy? No. But imagine if you do that because you know the piece. You have it memorized. So now you're fine-tuning. You're trying to create the bel canto line. Okay. Now, let's put it from here, please. Okay? So everything, left hand and right hand, voice that out so we hear a lot of the top of the third and not too much in the bottom third. It's very common in all composers' music to play a melody and then do it again the second time, right? Should it be the same or should it be different? How different? Think about how you can make these two phrases here different. Yeah. Or it could be softer, right? If you can be louder, you can also be softer. Okay? So let's try it. Let's try it louder this time. To try it the other way. All right? Now, I would like you to really treat these literally. Right? Crescendo. Now, this isn't marked with that same thing, but I would treat it the same way. I would put the decrescendos there so that I start very soft here and then have room to crescendo. Okay, let's try that again. So lots of top notes, lots of line. Good. This is still forte here. This is still forte. You fought to get up there, keep it forte. Okay, start the second phrase here. Follow these, reset. You get up, reset, and do that again. Okay, so that's going to create longer lines in your music. Okay, now another thing that creates a little bit more direction is your tempo. Okay, how have you thought about this tempo? And also lento sostenuto. Should it go slower? Should it go faster? Are you exactly where you need to be? Why would you say that? I don't want you to do anything unless, and this is what I do in my own playing. I don't change the tempo unless there's a valid reason for it. Okay? So, don't say faster unless you know why you want to go faster. Or don't say slower unless you know why.
Because I need to play it more in two.
Exactly. Yes, that's the exact answer, right? Because it's 6/8, so it needs to feel like it's moving on the dotted quarter and not on the 8th note. I'm hearing it move on the 8th note. Okay, if we can feel a dotted quarter more, there's going to be greater direction. And here's the other thing with Chopin. When you feel the pulse better, you can do rubato more. You can pull back, and you can push forward. If you're too slow, you can't pull back. You can only push forward. If you're too fast, you can't push forward, right? So you have to find that perfect tempo that allows you to do both equally. There has to be the same amount of music or same amount of pacing pulling back as there is pacing going forward. Okay? Right now with your tempo, I feel there's more pacing going forward than there is the room to stretch backwards. Okay? So from the beginning, let's go with a faster tempo, please. It feels like there's more direction in it, okay? You just have to feel comfortable with it. Okay, so a really interesting thing right here. Yes. What is the difference between a C sharp and a D flat? Or a A and a B double flat? Is there a difference in these notes? No difference?
No.
Well, as pianists, we don't think there's a difference because if I play D flat, I'm also playing C sharp. Okay? However, on any other instrument but the piano, a D flat and a C sharp are two different notes. Okay? Did you know that? On a violin, they have different fingerings for a C sharp and a D flat, depending on what position as well. Clarinet, they have different ways to produce those sounds. We have to find a way to make this chord and this chord a difference. Because why would he write it here as A, C sharp, E, and over here is a B double flat? Right? Okay? So let me show you a way to do that. We can't physically change the sound of the instrument, right? C sharp and B flat can stay exactly the same. I could do it this way. Right? So that's that. How am I going to change that sound? Pedals. So, when I think of A, C sharp is a major third. On the piano, the third is tuned a little flat to make equal temperaments. Okay? So the thirds on the piano are flatter than what they really appear as. La is a major third, not la. You hear the difference there? So this third should be a little bit brighter. But you can't force the piano to change that. A flat is a lower pitch compared to a sharp. This D flat and this A should sound slightly lower than here. But I can't, again, I can't force the piano to do that. I'm going to use the una quarter for it. So I have this. So put the I'm going to change the sound using the una quarter right here strategically. You hear that? So here's okay? So anytime you see an enharmonic spelling, it's a change in harmony. We as pianists don't necessarily think that because we're playing the same thing. But in the orchestral world, in the chamber music world, it is a different thing. And he would have spelt it with a C sharp if he didn't want it to change. So you have to find a way to actually change the sound of that note harmonically. Okay? So great job. Was that helpful? Good. So I hope to hear it again down the road. Okay? Keep working. It's a beautiful piece. All right? Thank you so much. Okay. Congratulations. Good job.
Excellent. Thank you, Brianna. And maybe welcome, Kyne, right? Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Breath?
Yeah.
Big piece, right? What can you tell me about this Chopin Polonaise?
It's very majestic.
Yeah.
Very,
Great. Yeah.
March-like with a drive.
Yep. Anything else? What's the nickname?
Heroic.
Heroic. Right. Yeah. Okay. How long have you been working on this piece for?
5-6 months.
Good. Good. Great. You know, there's some great technical work that you've done. You've got the structure of the piece put together nicely. There's a lot of confident playing. Now it's making sure that what you just said, that majesty, that drive keeps going, right? That's hard, right? I hear you, man. It's not an easy thing to do. So we'll talk about ways to think about that, how to put it together. But let me ask you something I think is really important. And this isn't for everyone to think about, too. What recordings of this piece have you heard?
Margaret, Rubinstein, Horowitz.
Okay, which Horowitz one?
Not too sure.
It's like 74 London Wigmore Hall one?
I think so.
Okay, that's my favorite recording of this piece, by the way. Actually, I heard this piece performed here in Vancouver in October by Kissin.
Oh, I was there too.
So you heard him play it too then. He played it as a spinal encore, right? Yeah. Do you remember anything about that performance? Were you learning this piece at that time?
Yeah.
So when you heard him play it, what did you think? It must have been like exciting, right?
Very exciting.
Yeah. When I sit in the audience and I hear this piece, I want that excitement. I want it to be like pulsing through my body, right? I want you to be able to create that energy in there, okay? Part of it is that there should be more sound. You're playing one of the biggest pianos in the world. Very powerful instrument. I should be sitting there with this wall of sound just flying at me constantly, right? So you're moving your fingers around. I want more sound. Let's start from the beginning, okay? So don't push the pedal down as you play the notes. Push the pedal down before you play. You know why? Okay, push the pedal down for a second. What happened? Because now every string is open, right? It didn't take a whole lot to produce sound, right? Clear the pedal for a second. Watch this. Push down. Boom. Hear that sound? So imagine if that pedal is down, you hit that first chord forte. Now every string is ringing with color, right? There's something going on. Okay, so clear the pedal. Let's do that again. Big forte chord, pedal down. Good. Listen to it. Okay. Now do it with the pedal going down with the first note. You hear that? I like that look. Okay, so are you convinced?
Yes.
Okay, great. so sforzando to piano, how big of a difference can that be? Night and day. Okay, bigger first chord, softer piano, please. Try not to pull it back. Try to keep that energy going. Stay still. Done. You want to drive. You want to get a lot more energy out of that. Okay? We'll start right there. Slow down. Everything in this introduction has got to feel a pulse, right? And not a pulse in 3, a pulse in 1. Okay? All of this fanciness in here is only driving you to the next harmony. All this chromaticism is moving you to the main chords. Play this chord for me, please. See, this is the same chord as that, right? This is just filler. That's just leading yourself to there. Okay, play me this one here. So you're making this part, the chromatic part, more important. You're trying to get from this chord to this chord to that chord. Okay? Don't wishy-washy in the middle of that. Okay? Move forward to that next beat. Because again, feel it in the dotted half note. Don't feel it as 3/4 notes. Okay, so from the beginning, 2. Okay? Don't cut it off too much. You can come down a little bit. But we want that energy to drive to the main theme. Okay, so from here. Poland. Okay? You've been there before? No. To Warsaw? You got to go. One of the most beautiful cities in the world. Okay? The majesty comes from the march. The majesty comes from this. This is the national dance. If there's one thing that represents Poland, it's this dance. Okay? And Chopin, he brings so much glory to this. Okay, let's start again from here. Don't hold back, right? In terms of sound, like you can pull back, but not sound. And then really play these because there's so much flair to them, right? Okay, so maybe from here, that's a good spot for you. I want the scales, all of these big scales, to have much more richness. Okay? It feels like a little bit thin. How are we going to create more tone in that scale?
More left hand.
Well, you need both because you have too much left hand. Then, how do you practice your scales?
Yeah.
Yeah. What scale is this one?
B flat minor.
Okay, let's do a B flat minor scale. Now, you don't have to go fast. Choose a reasonable tempo, start soft, and do a big crescendo. Okay? Not fast, but just crescendo and lots of richness in the sound. Hands together. But don't get faster on it. Don't use any pedal. Okay? So da 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 da. Real evenness in the sound. If you want to get more sound in the scale, you're going to have to do that. Not playing. I know it's fun. Okay, it's a lot of fun to play fast scales like that. I get it. But that's not how you're going to get the sound. Okay? Go slowly and work the dynamic up. And then when you have control of that tempo and that dynamic, then go a little faster, and then a little faster. And eventually you'll be at tempo. Okay? This is the exact same thing happens in the G minor ballade at the end. Big G minor scale. And oftentimes the scale is thin. So we need to practice playing it out a little bit more. Okay? All right. Start from here. That was much better. Do it again. I would start slightly slower, and then around 2/3 of the way of the scale, really start to zip through it. Okay? Not that slow. Because, yeah. So, do you hear that we're going a little faster? Mm-hmm. And you can handle it, right? You're not having any troubles with it. Okay? Now, I asked you at the beginning, were you out of breath? And you said, yeah. How do you not get out of breath in a piece like this? Were you breathing while you were playing? Or did you just kind of start and hold your breath and then take a big deep breath at the end when you played? Finished. That's probably what you did, right? Okay. If a singer did that, they would collapse on the stage. There's no way they could get through it, right? We as pianists don't breathe as much as we need to breathe. We need to breathe with the phrase. Okay? So, let's start from right here, okay? And the same thing as I had with Brianna, because this is very dangerous. It becomes very vertical after a while because all these big chords. Yes? And octaves. Can you play me the melody line up to here with one finger? Okay? Yeah. I know it's hard to just jumping around. Okay? But that will help you find places where you can physically breathe in the piece. Okay? Don't worry about the ornament. Just play, you know, the 8 notes. Just one note. Right, okay. So start again from here. Dum, ba-dum, da-da-dum, ba-dum. So there's a breath, a very quick breath mark, but you can take that. Breathe. So these aren't, you're right, these are not part of the melody, right? So those are places to breathe. It's going to save you so much all the way through the piece. Because, you know, you have to be an athlete to play this piece. Okay? This is athletic music. I mean, you're moving all over the place. What do athletes do? They breathe, right? You run up and down the court, you're skating on the ice, on the soccer, you're breathing. So that's going to help. Okay, let's put our hands together. So now you've got a couple of places you can breathe. But then here, you've got to be able to do this whole thing with one giant breath and then quick breath here. Make sense? Mm-hmm. So if you're pacing yourself with the breath all the way through that. Okay. My favorite part of the piece. Okay? Maybe start up there. Keep going, right? You have this transition to get you into the march, okay? What's the dynamic? Pianissimo. Very hard to do, but you got to do it. You know why? Because he wrote it in there. Okay? What does a pianissimo sound like? If you had a friend who wasn't playing the piano or wasn't a musician, wasn't studying music, and he asked you or she asked you, what is the two P's there? You said, well, it's pianissimo. How would you demonstrate it to them that it's pianissimo?
Not too sure.
Yeah. Okay. Can you repeat after me? There you go. That's it. Pianissimo. If you want forte, create it with your voice. And then take it to the piano. Okay? Say pianissimo again. I'll go ahead and play it. Wait, was that pianissimo? Was that your pianissimo that you said? Okay, so here's the thing is, you set the bar very high for your pianissimo because you whispered it very quietly. That is where you got to go with your practice. Okay? That's what you're aiming for. How else would you know how to create a pianissimo? Got it? Let's try it again. I know you can do it. Okay. Again. Well, relax. It's easy for you. That's exactly it. Okay? Do you always practice it at this speed? No. Go slower with the pianissimo. When you think you've played it soft enough and it's in control, what do?
Slowly.
Go softer.
Go softer.
Go softer. Go softer. Okay? You know why? Because you don't know what's going to happen on stage. Right? Different piano, different acoustics. You may think, well, that's soft, but I think I can go softer. Right? Challenge yourself. If you create something in your practice, that's going to be the sound that you can create in your performance. Okay? It's better to walk into a performance with more dynamics and more musical ideas than a limited bag. Because again, you just don't know what's going to happen on stage with the sound. So if you're playing it like, wait a minute, I can go softer. You've never done it before, it's kind of like scary. But if you know you can go softer and the piano will let you and the room will let you, this section becomes very, very exciting and very hypnotic. Okay? Now, the other thing I'd like to hear more is this. Okay, sopra voce means what? Subdued, right? Okay? So when I hear this part played magnificently, this is so wide. And then that melody just kind of peaks out. It's starting to show, right? Let's go again. Let's be as soft as possible. And by the way, if you go soft, you can go a little bit of pedal to create, because it's a little dry right now. So you can almost start to pedal that melody line in there. Okay? Go ahead. It sounds too pump, 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 pump. Right? It sounds too much like it's vertical. So take that finger, any finger, and just do that. Start from here and create a line. Just do it slowly. Good. Do that again. Okay, go slower so you can control it. tricky, eh? I'll do it this way. All your fingers. Right. See, so I know you can play this part, and you know you can play this part. What your practice should be doing now is creating the movement of left to right in the phrase line. Okay? You practicing quick and gaining in control is not going to help the line get developed. Right? So use that little trick with one finger. Okay? Now, just play me the melody, just play everything in the right hand, no left hand. Okay. At any point in time, what you put, did it emerge higher than sotto voce sound? Okay, so let's do it again. Better. Okay, better. Do that again. So refine it, tighten it up so that every note connects and that the sound is blended from note to note. You're using a really good fingering there. Lots of legato fingering that allows you to get to note from note. You're not actually physically connecting your note to note. Okay? So you're using the right fingering, but it's not helping you right now. The reason why I use that fingering is to be silky smooth. Okay? So slow it down a little bit and connect the top notes. Go ahead. Right, that's better. Okay, so when you find out how soft you can play in that right hand melody, that will then dictate how soft you have to play in the left hand. Okay? And so that's what you want to do here. You want to challenge yourself to be softer here. Oh, okay, yes, here. Okay? This is, can we just play with the right hand here, please? So, can you play it as evenly as possible now? Still shape it, but blend that sound. Okay. Do you have any strategies to practicing 16th notes and making them very smooth and even? Okay. Yeah, you can group them, but there's something I like to do here. It's called, just stand up for a second. Groups of 4, I break up into 2 long notes and 2 short notes. So I can go 2 long notes and 2 short notes. That, or it's short. So 6 combinations of long, long, short, short. Long, long, short, short. Short, short, long, long. Long, short, short, long. Short, long, long, short. Long, short, long, short. Short, long, short, long. You take that permutation through every 16th note passage through here, in the world of Mozart, any of that, 32nd notes. Don't practice it the way it's written here. If you do that, you're going to have a very, very silky, very refined 16th notes. Because this is the section in the piece where the music is naturally horizontal. The rest of this piece is naturally vertical if the chords are. So you have to be very contrasting here to show, to highlight the difference between the up and down writing versus the left to right. Okay? Good job. Congratulations. Keep working at it. Love this piece. Okay, you're welcome.
And maybe welcome, Jamie.
start to hold the music right now. Okay, Jenny. Let's go. Oh, you've been working on this. Good. The whole thing or just this piece? Great. You've played it publicly before? Okay, fantastic. Okay, well, what can you tell me about the sonata, the nickname Tempest? This is something that Beethoven gave, or?
I don't think
Yeah, he didn't give any of his sonatas nicknames. It's just someone, you know, when Chang was studying this piece with Beethoven, Beethoven mentioned it. It reminded him of the Tempest by Shakespeare. We don't even know if that story is really true. That's the best part about it. So it could be, maybe, I don't know. Okay, you get a lot of the angst and anxiety, the agitation in this piece, which is so important in here. What recordings of this piece, whose recordings have you heard? Fantastic. Lucita, yeah. Any of those your favorite? Or do you like them all? Yeah. What I would say to all of you who are playing today is, and I say this to all of my students, whatever piece I'm studying on, I need to have 3 favorite recordings of it. Which means I need to listen to how many recordings?
more than 30.
Yeah, more than 3. Yeah, that's right. At least 10. Right? I got to listen to a lot. Have you heard the recording of this piece by Arthur Schnabel?
No.
Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
This is a performance edition of this these Beethoven sonatas. Arthur Schnabel is considered one of the greatest Beethoven interpreters. So find a recording, the Schnabel recording. Okay? And listen to it. Add that to your list. His son, Karl Ulrich Schnabel, I believe, has recorded these. But other people you may want to listen to, Richard Gibb is very well known for his Beethoven.
Yeah.
Okay. Friend of mine, Stuart Goodyear. Do you know him? Do you know the name? Canadian. Stuart Goodyear plays all 32 Beethoven sonatas on one recital program. Takes about 9 hours a year. Can you imagine, like, all that music? Okay, let's start from the beginning, please. Okay, I want you to take a little bit more time with this opening chord. Okay, why do you think I would like you to take more time? No, that's not the reason.
To make it like more mysterious.
That's one reason, but there's meaning towards that. I'm trying to see if you understand the form of this piece and the key structure. What chord are we starting on?
A major.
A major. What's the relationship to the tonic key?
That's dominant.
So you're sitting in the program, you're during Beethoven's time, he writes this piece, and it's a sonata in D minor.
Yeah.
And you hear a major chord.
So like it wants to.
Right? But you're probably thinking, like, I thought the sonata's in D minor.
Yeah.
Why is it starting with a major chord?
Yeah.
You may not know it's dominant, but your ear's telling you that it's not minor. That's why you should take more time with it.
Okay.
Right? Enjoy that. Hey, it's A major.
Yeah.
Right? Where's the first real sign that D minor shows up? Like a real clear D minor. Not really, because that's all, it zips through so quickly. Yeah, that's right. You have to wait. And there's no measure numbers of double S, well, 20 measures before you get there. Right? You have a cadential 6/4 here. Right? So that's not really clearly D minor. The real D minor is right here. Right? 5/1. Okay? So that's when you kind of get satisfied in terms of, oh, we're in D minor. Okay? Go ahead. Even more time, softer. You do without moving, sit very still, just let your fingers do the work. So there's a slur written over that C sharp and the E, right? Yet there's staccatos. So how do you do that? How do you realize the slur over two staccatos?
I feel like play them detached, but not like completely staccato.
Okay, not really. Okay, that's a nice thought though. Okay. Can you play the C sharp and E just as a slur without the staccato? Just play no pedal, just slur in 2 notes. Good, really exaggerate it. Now do that with the staccato, slur it with the staccato. There you go. That's how you do it. Right? Both of those articulations are supposed to be realized. One doesn't cancel the other one out. They don't come together and make a brand new articulation. Like a half detached. It's not.
Okay.
It's still slur. Okay? Stand up for a second. I would like to hear this beginning. Just again, easy. Right? So you don't force it. Just let it. I like to say the word natural or organic a lot in my studio. You want to use it in a chord if you like. Right, but easy. It should be a very sort of. Let me begin. Because for people who don't know this piece, then becomes anxious, right? But the audience are, it's like. It's going to be really pleasant, right? And it's not. It's the opposite, right? That has to be very, very soft off that one. Okay? Try it again, right here. But the rhythm, right? You take it too liberal. Like, maybe I'll play this note now, maybe I'll play this. You can almost say, well, now I feel like this note, right? And so we don't get a sense of rhythm. Right? You can stretch, but don't stretch it to the point where anyone can realize it's a 16th note. Okay? Start from there. Stay still. Why is this chord here? C major. I thought you were playing a piece in D minor. Where did C major come from? Right? Okay? Softer. Okay? Mysterious. It's a shorthand form to do a crescendo. Okay? So here's actually a crescendo, because it's going to this spot here, the D minor. Okay, so C major in the key of D minor is what relationship? No. Major 7, right?
Yeah.
Or you can say flat 7. But really, it's the 5 of the relative major, F major. Okay? We're a long way from home when you hear the C major here, right? Because we're thinking in D minor. Okay? So that's why, again, similar to this, you just want to enjoy it. All right, let's start from right here. It's hard. Double forte, sforzando, sforzando. It's a crescendo, and then soft instantly. Okay? Make this the arrival. So you're using these A's, 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 A's to the G sharp. Okay? Go ahead. Okay. This is very, very hard, by the way, to go from the forte to instantly chop everything down to piano. Okay? So I'm going to show you how a good way to practice it. Play this chord forte and then wait maybe like 3 seconds and then go into tempo here piano. Yeah, do that again, because what I want you to do is I want you to hear forte and I want you to hear piano. You need to hear the piano before you start the piano, before you actually play. So bigger chord, try it again, and then wait, and then when you're ready, play piano. You heard that, right? You're running into that forte. It's not really piano, you're trying to decrescendo into it. So the phrase ends on this left hand E. Okay, let's do that again. Stand up for a second. This is such an interesting thing. Right? You feel a little bit lighter. And so the sound is not, your sound's a little bit bright. I would try to see if you can make it slightly muted. And so part of, I know it's tricky because it's fast, and so you're probably right on your fingertips, but try to be slightly flatter, so that the pad of your finger absorbs some of that transfer weight. And so that if you're going to tip, always gets a brighter sound. Slightly, I'm not telling you about this, by the way, because it's like, sorry, slightly flatter on the fleshy part. Okay, we can start right there again. The decrescendo is here. What does decrescendo mean? That's the second half of the definition for decrescendo.
Don't play crescendo.
No, start loud. You cannot. Decrescendo means to start loud.
Okay.
I know theory tells us it means gradually getting soft.
Yeah.
In the real world of music, the practical sense, crescendo means start soft, then get loud. No one ever teaches the starting part. Okay? The starting part is so important. Because what you did is you know that there's a decrescendo here.
Yeah.
So your brain already went to decrescendo before you actually got there.
Okay.
So this chord is forte, and then you do the decrescendo. Right? Okay? So pick it up. Maybe this is this one. short combinations here. Again, you know it so well, right? So you're just tidying up so that you can be very much in control of that piano. Okay? And it's not that you want to be just soft. You want to blend that sound. You don't want the sounds, you don't want it uneven, because then you'll have one or two notes that pop out, and you move, and then you get distracted from everything. Okay? So if we go from here. So that pedal change has to be very precise. Do this. Okay. Timing it. Keep going. Largo. Good. Is that pianissimo? Can you say pianissimo? That's where you start. Go ahead. Is it natural to do a crescendo? Yes. But the decision has to be how much crescendo. That was probably too much. Okay? Stand up for a second. I'm watching you do this. Everyone in the audience knows what's about to happen because you do this. You're telling us. You're choreographing how you're playing the notes. Do you need to move your arm that much to play one note? Do you need to move to play that many? 2 notes? 3 notes? 10 notes? Never. Right? You're 4-note chord here, yeah? Okay. So you don't need to be way up here. If you're nervous and you're up here, what's going to happen? You could miss, or you might come out too loud. Okay. You know you want to play soft, so be stealth. Your hand right on top of the note. Stealth. Right? Same thing here. Stealth. I can be very soft if I'm right off the notes. Okay? No gestures. Okay, start again from here. Sort of relax, just take it easy, penis. That's okay. Make sure you hold the pedal through all this stuff. It's all staying harder, okay? Just one second, hold the pedal. You have it super, super even there. Hey? Right? Okay. So let's hear this, please. Just get your fingers a little flatter. Okay. Tips will be a little bit bright, flatter, so it's a little bit less, a warmer, darker, mysterious sound. Okay, so same thing. You've ever practiced these things staccato? Staccato practice, if you want something really legato, staccato practice is great. You know why? Because you're going to articulate evenly. You want that very even. Actually, do that here. Play this here on top of the piano. Now, listen very carefully and see if all your 8 notes are even. You hear?
Yeah.
You hear it very clearly here, right?
Yeah.
If you practice this part on a tabletop and you go back to playing it, I bet you just that would make it cleaner. I fly a lot. I fold it with a tray table down, and I do stuff like that when I'm trying to articulate something, and I sit at the piano and it's clean. Do that one more time. Okay, now just go ahead and do it. No pedal, hands together. No pedal. Cleaner, right? Which note comes up, or which finger is too much? No, that was actually, the upper fingers were fine. The 5th finger was a little bit too much. Okay? Same thing here at the end as I was saying to Brianna. Hold this chord, E minor, hold it down, keep the pedal dropped. Put your fingers off slowly, and then let the pedal up very carefully. And then you'll clear the sound in the circle the second movement. Okay? Good work. Great job. Okay. Keep up the good work.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jenny. And maybe welcome Laura.
Okay? Just okay?
Yeah.
How long have you been working on this? I'm glad you played it. It's almost, I haven't taught it, I haven't played it myself, no, but I love it. It's one of my favorite Mozart. So thank you for playing it. There's a lot of Mozart things that are forming in your playing. You're starting to hear the ideas, and I started hearing the different characters that we would associate with Mozart. But there was one thing that kind of runs through this whole thing from start to finish. And I think being a little bit better with that one aspect will help you overall with this piece and really transform. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
What is it?
I think I should work more on like the pain part, maybe.
No, I mean, we all have to. Let me correct me. We should all work on technique part. Yeah, well, we're all going to, and we're learning. I mean, you're only 2 months into the piece. I mean, that's fantastic. That this is the work you've done in 2 months. I can only imagine what 4 months from now, 6 months from now is going to be like. But something even more important, because you'll get the technique part. The overall pacing of it, breathing, not rushing, right? There's a lot of moments where you're hurrying through the music, right? And so I like your tempo a lot. Just keep it there, okay? Keep it right at that pace. Do you ever use the metronome to practice? Okay. So were you counting? Were you doing something while you're playing to fight for that tempo?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Do that. You know, as you're, count out loud at home, and those sorts of things. But it's not simply just counting using the metronome. It's also constructing your phrases, right? When you talk to your friends at school, or you're talking to your parents, you talk with punctuations, you talk with pauses, right, to get the message across. You don't just talk without breathing, you don't talk without a comma, you just don't keep writing. That wouldn't make any sense, right? And you wouldn't, I mean, there are certain times when you're speaking where you get excited and you may push your pacing a little bit, and there's times maybe you're going to pull back, depending on what you're trying to say. But it's never rushing. You never like talking and getting out of control. We want to develop the phrasing, the plan of this. Okay? So when I think about Mozart in a sonata, there's 3 forms of music I think about actually. I don't think of piano. What 3 things do you think I'm imagining with Mozart?
Maybe opera.
Opera, definitely.
Like orchestra works.
There we go, orchestral, and the last one is?
Chamber music.
That's it. Not piano. I never consider a piano sonata piano. Throughout it, I'm changing gears. I'm orchestral, at times I'm opera, at times I'm chamber, at times I'm chamber with the singer, or chamber with the symphony, or chamber within the symphony, because I may have a woodwind group versus a string group, right? Those are the things I'm thinking about. Beginning, which one of those 3 is this? Opera, orchestral, or chamber?
Orchestra.
Absolutely, orchestral, right away, okay? Then bum, 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 bum. That's the orchestral. Woodwinds, right? I'm thinking like the opening of an overture to an opera. So it's opera, but it's the overture, which is symphonic. Okay, let's start that again. Dum, bum, bum, ba dum, dum, bum, bum, da da dum. All right, don't push that tempo. Go ahead. With dum, ba dum. This is still forte. The C taper, but don't change that dynamic. You have the piano coming up in measure 3. Okay? Now there's no staccato written, so don't think. I mean, yes, to play this G here and to play this F and the E, you have to release the notes. But it's not. A little bit of a stress on the second beat. Hold it right for the full value. Okay? Make sense? Let's try from the beginning. The first one was beautiful. The second one. right? It's offbeat, so it should be soft. Don't accent those ones. Okay? Start from here, 10. Too dramatic like that, right? Because that's not classical stuff. Just like that, just a little crescendo. That's all you need, 3 notes. Now, okay, so see, what you're doing is you're actually going to save a little bit. So second time, a little bit more, okay? So first time, second time, please. Careful. Left hand, what are you hearing? A little bit too loud. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're doing it right. You're following, but you're following too closely. I would separate a little bit more distance. Okay. Start right here. Imagine, you ever watch those TV shows and the police are going to stake out? They're like following another car. Okay. That's what they always like. They're like, that's what police do. If there's a criminal they want to like find out, they follow them. But if they stay too close, the guy's like, oh yeah, I can see the police, right? So it's always like you don't want to stay too close, right? You want to be back there. You want to mimic all the moves, and that's what the left hand is. The left hand is the police car. This is the criminal. You don't want to be too close, okay? So let's just tuck that in a little bit more. Go ahead. This is great. Very nice control. Softer. Okay, so go from here or something. Same thing, no staccato, quarter, right, end it. Do the trill first. This is, when I said earlier, well, it's a Kyne, about 16th notes, long, short. This is where you got to do it so that you're not rushing, right? So go through all those combinations. Then add this to it. Okay? So you have articulate it with a staccato. So it really teaches your fingers to lift off the notes. Okay? So you want to be super, super precise with it. Okay? So let's try that. Just play the 16th note with a nice short staccato about this tempo. Just the right hand. Good. Now a little faster. lines together now, as written, legato. Okay, now here's something I want you to do this. You can do it right hand by itself. Instead of playing the G here, I want you to keep it in time and play the G extended pattern down to here. Play the next few beats 1 octave lower. Okay? So you're going to jump 2 octaves to get to that spot. If you can jump from here to here in time 2 octaves, guess what? When you do it as written, no problem, right?
Like I'm jumping here.
From this down to here, right? So that B is there, so then you're going to go here.
Okay.
Got it? Let's do the right hand by itself. Good. Let's do that again. That's it.
Oh.
Now, make sure that when you jump down here, you're not changing the tone so dramatically. Okay? Where do you get your Good. Slow down a little bit. Right. Anytime you have a leap in music, right? You got to go really far. Add another octave to it. Okay? And you know, like if you know, like a Chopin waltz, if you add an extra octave to everything in the waltz, the amount of control you'll gain is amazing. This will do the same thing because you got to be so tactile with 16th notes, right? If you can get to here, this is going to be a breeze for you, right? Okay, do it again slowly. Do it as written. Da, 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 da. Right, so then you have this leap, so then I'll do the same thing. Add another octave to that one, so you're going up to here. Okay, so let's do these 3. Good, do it again. Don't look here. Don't look here. You have it memorized. Look here. Put your eye on this. Do it again. Yeah. You want to be able to target it, right? Like in your peripherals, you got to know where. Otherwise, you're going to miss it. Okay, try it again. That's better. Do it as written, so you're looking here now. Exactly. That's right. You see? So you want to visually know where things are. And again, if you're training your eyes to be here, when you come back to here, it's going to be much more manageable. Okay? All right. Development. Go ahead. Okay, so you got to be really careful with these poco rits here, here. Okay? It's not sounding like a poco rit. What's it sounding like? Because poco rit means what?
Like, it's a little bit slower.
Not get a little bit slower.
Cold,
Slow, a little bit slowing down. Right? If you're saying get a little bit slower, you're actually changing the tempo. We're not changing the tempo here. Okay? So let's try it again. You see the difference there? Right? Now, the way you did it was actually what we call poco ritenuto. Ritenuto means to suddenly slow down. And that's what it's sounding like in those spots, is that you literally just changed the tempo on this. Okay? Let's try it again and then keep going on. So what we have here is very operatic. right? Some sort of accompaniment like that. Okay, same thing here, okay? So don't think of it as like this. So finger, one finger, okay? That one thing practice I've said to almost everybody is one of my solutions, one of the great ways to practice creating a line, okay? So something you can try at home. Go ahead. As is. Practice the section without the pedal?
No.
Okay. Do you ever practice without pedal?
Sometimes.
Yeah. The passages like this, I would do a lot of no pedal, just so I can hear the clarity in my left hand. Okay? Go ahead and do that. Okay. How about volume? Are you happy with that? What's wrong with it? What would you do to fix it? Yes, that's right. Okay? So bring it down. That's a fair answer. Have you thought about pedaling there? These kind of, they sound a little dry to me. Yeah? Okay, try it. I mean, you have a good ear. You're doing very musical things. Include the pedal in here. We'll see what you can do with it. I would try to pedal down and then just up with the quarter note. Hold it through the 16th note, so you're up on the quarter. Okay? Yeah. Right, so you're going to release the quarter and the pedal at the exact same time. Okay? So try it again. So be very soft here. I think you need some pedal there, don't you? Yeah. Now, that may change also depending on the room. Sometimes acoustically, there's a very interesting interview with Angela Hewitt when she talks about pedaling in Bach. And she says, sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. It's all dependent on my ear and the room. And I think this is one of those, like in here it sounds very dry. It may not sound like that at home perhaps, right? So if you're playing it, you should be able to make that adjustment if you need to do that sort of thing. Okay? How much time do we have?
7 minutes.
Okay, let me just hear you play a little bit of the second movement. Okay? I'll just sit right now. Go ahead. Andante, poco, adagio. What does that mean?
Like,
I mean, I don't know. Andante is what?
a little bit adagio.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't consider this too slow of a movement, by the way. Can we take it a little faster? Closer to Andante. What do you think? Again, 3/4, right? Triple time. Feel a dotted half note. Okay, the other thing, the sound, just hearing it right now, feels, what do you think? What you're hearing from the sound? It's a little bit percussive in this room at this moment in time. Again, it could be different later. Okay? So can we try to find a warmer, a much more sensual sound? Okay, you may need to be a little bit flatter finger. Right over top of the note. Okay, go ahead. Faster tempo. I'm wondering again, because sometimes you just need a little pedal. I'm not even pushing it all the way down. I'm half pedal. I'm like to somewhere. Let's find a sweet spot in there. Yeah, would you like that sound better than another one? Yeah, so, but again, that's just this room and this piano at this moment in time. But the thing is, your ear, you have to be, I say this to my students, I guess I say it to myself all the time. I have to be honest. My ear is my best teacher. My ear is how I know how to improve. So if I'm listening to a sound, I don't think it's right, I got to start to assess why it's not right. What sound do I want? And then more importantly, I have to trust it. I have to believe that my ear is telling me that message, right? You heard the difference there, okay? So do that in your own practice. You know it so well after 2 months, which is very impressive. So fine-tune your ear, listen to that sound. What recordings of this have you listened to?
They're on phone.
Yeah, great.
This is so nice.
I think it's the best Mozart out there, is Uchida. She's like my...
I totally agree.
I would.
Very,
yeah, there's something about her touch with Mozart that just is right. Okay? And Dave Perret. Okay? Her Mozart's fantastic. There's this rehearsal, it's on YouTube, where she came in, I can't remember, I think it's like the Oslo Symphony. She's supposed to play a Mozart symphony, a Mozart concerto. So she goes to rehearsal, she sits down with the piano, and the orchestra is playing the wrong concerto. And it's an open rehearsal, right? And then they're playing, and she looks at the conductor, and she's like, oh, I thought we were doing a major. And he's like, no. And she's like, why? I haven't played this piece. And he's still conducting. And he's like, oh, you're fine, you're going to remember it. And then she just starts playing the concerto. I mean, that's how well she knew the piece. And then she performed it that night. Yet she hadn't practiced in my class, because she had prepared herself for the other Mozart concerto. So here she is playing, and it's beautiful. And her son was sitting there, I was like, you're playing the wrong concerto, but it's amazing. I can't do that. So the sound here, just listen to that. You have a good ear. You can pick those things up. Do that, okay? And then remember, I don't take much consideration to this. This is, to me, much more important as the Andante. Okay? Okay, great job. Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you, Laura. And we have up next, Evelyn.
Thank you. That was a very exciting point. How have you been working on this piece for? Okay, good. So just 3 months, right? All right. There's some very musical things in there. I think a lot of what you're doing is quite creative. I'm hearing some things I haven't heard before in this piece. And that's nice. It's refreshing to hear different ideas, especially in a piece like this that's famous and played a lot. Okay, so you do some very intriguing things, and we'll talk about that. Obviously, you know it very well, and there's some really good technical control going through there. Okay, so the opening here. Okay, have you harmonically analyzed it? You know what chords you're playing? Have you gone through it yet? Okay. And I think this is a really important thing, is to spend a little bit more time with the harmonic progression in here. Okay? You have a nice color, but I want to hear more tension. Right? There's so much going on. Stand up for a second. Let's just go through it. It's a good ear exercise. It's good for all of us to kind of review what's happening. So what's your first chord here? C minor. Okay, where's the first chord change? What chord does it go to? Yeah, where's the first chord change? When do we change first harmony? Right? So we have 1, 5, 1. What's this one? 7 of 5. 7 of 5, right? 7 diminished 7. That's the first moment. That's so tense. that, like, you know, not physically tense to play, but it's tense in my heart. It is tense in my spirit when I hear that, right? That's fine. 1 to 5. I sit here all day. I'm not tired of that. Okay? But watch. That's painful. Waiting for. That's the only chord in this key that will take this away in that position. Now, if that chord is in this, right? Every diminished 7th chord has how many ways out? 4, right? Notes of the leading tone to a tonic, right? So this one, when it's in the music, belongs to G major. What? G minor. There's 8 ways out. 4 major, 4 minor. Right? Right? There's always 4 ways out. But this one in this voicing, has to go to either here or here. Watch this. What if I do this? The pain's not taken away. It's still there. It's sad. That feels good. It's like a momentary lapse of pain. This chord. It puts the theme in the diminished. You already know where that's going to go? We're going to go back. No, this should go better. Right? But he doesn't. Where does he go? 5, 4, 2 of F. Minor. That tells me so much about what's happening in this one. Let's try this, okay? We have to construct this tension, the release, all the way through. Tension, music is about developing tension and then resolving tension. Create tension, resolve tension. Okay? Let's start from here, please. Wait. So I wouldn't go. Elevates now. Now in voice, the 2 notes I want lots of or more of is the F and E flat. Because those are our tension notes in the diminished 7th chord. Right? Leading tone, 7, so resolution is there. This stuff is not too important. So I want bass and soprano there. Okay? And with the da, lead us to that. Okay? Go ahead. Keep going. Good. Okay, now let's expand up, please. This whole thing has to be choreographed, not just harmonically, physically, believe it or not. Okay? This is what you're doing. You're already moving. Don't move yet. Finish the phrase. See, we don't I mean, for us to know the piece, it's not that like I don't know what's coming up. What I want to know is how is it going to come up. Telling us you're about to play a chord, right? It's just like I'm about to play and you go, right? You don't have to be so dramatic about it. It's, right? So let's try that, okay? Use the rest to move. Don't move before the rest. No, see? You're already on your way. Just let go of the note. Use the rest. You're in no hurry. Grave, right? Very slow, very slow. Wait, don't move. Go. And wait. Go. The performance is not just something that we hear, right? I go to a concert, and it's funny because a lot of times everyone wants to this side of the room because they want to see the pianist move their fingers, right? I mean, it's exciting. You want to see some fast fingers. I don't care where I sit. I want to hear the performance, right? But I'm going to see because I'm watching the performer as well. It's just as suspenseful if I don't see the performer move and set something up. And then when I hear the sound is more important than the movement to the sound, right? We don't want grand gestures, especially here. We just want, the suspense and the tension. Okay, so one of the things that you do very interestingly is you use a lot of una corda, right? I'm hearing a lot of una corda. Is that something you've planned, or just happens? The left pedal. Did you plan to use it that much?
No, I did it over.
Okay. Yeah, you're using it a lot. I think in some of the places you should be using it. I just don't know if you should be using it as much. Okay. Some places in some world they call the una corda the soft pedal, right? You may know it by that name, right? Is it a soft pedal? Is it soft when you play it? Does it really create soft?
Not really.
Not really, yeah. I use una corda, by the way, sometimes when I'm playing forte or fortissimo because I want a different shade of that dynamic. Okay? I don't think you need it at the beginning. Okay? Now, if you want to use it, and I'll show you a very good place to use it, it's the same thing. If you want to use it there, I think that's nice because it's a contrast to this, right? You held the una corda down for quite a bit of it. So then what happens over here when the same theme comes up and it's the same harmonic tension? If you use the una corda here and save it, then you have a different color, you have a different sound, right? And it's part of that tension. Okay? So maybe not so much una corda in the opening. Okay? Alright, so look through those parts. Let's start from here, please. Okay? This is really well done. The intervals are very even. Okay? What I'd like to hear more, be softer at the beginning. You're just a little bit loud initially. Go ahead. Don't use una corda though. Just use it with your fingers. Okay, so this rocket theme, there's a natural want to get loud. Can you wait for it? Because look for Beethoven is the crescendo. That'll be even more exciting. You will give a little bit of shape. You'll want to, and you'll have to, but you're giving too much of it. Okay? different. See how they're different? This one starts with the crescendo right away. This one's waiting for you to do the crescendo. Okay? This piano needs to be a little bit softer in general. Okay, go from here. Your left hand is great. I can hear that, and it's so soft. This hand is taking advantage of the balance too much. Okay? This is so good. It's done such a great job. Be sneakier. Okay? I think of this part as mischievous. That's the word that comes to my mind. I think of elves. I think of, do you know Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare? Puck. This is the character I think of here. Very mischievous. Try it. Exciting, by the way. Start from here. You sit on that chord, and no one knows when you're going to play the next chord. Again, for us who know the piece, we're waiting for that chord. But what makes it different between you and I performing it, or me and Daniel Barenboim and you and Daniel Barenboim, is how long you wait for this fermata. When you hit this fermata and you hit that chord, we only have one expectation for it, truthfully. Okay? We have two, but really where we know, we could go here. Okay? So you're going to hold this, and then into there. Okay? Let's do it again. You probably have, if I had to put a countdown to it, the number of beats you should wait, a minimum of 7 beats. Okay? Or 7 crutches, as they would say, which are quarter notes. Okay? Go ahead. Right. But don't move and then hover your fingers over the notes you're about to play. Because that tells us now that you're going to play. Play the chord, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and when you're about to play, then move your hand and play the chord. When you're over top of the note, you got to play. You can't sit on top of the note. Okay? It's like jumping in the air and not coming down. Is that possible?
No.
Can you jump in the air and float?
No.
No. But that's what you're doing. You're jumping in the air and floating. Okay? Again. See? Once we, and then you move. That's exciting. Okay? That's great. So, all right. That's very nice. Like I said, there's a little bit of rushing, hey? You got to be really controlled with your tempo. Do you practice with the metronome? Okay. Do you count when you're playing? Or are you singing the rhythm? Are you singing the melody?
No.
Yeah, you should, right? That will help you to keep control so you don't get I mean, part of it is that it is a very exciting piece, and we want to get, you know, it just builds energy, right? You have to learn how to hold back too. Okay, let's go from here. What I'd like to hear is not a little bit more melodic. So your octave shouldn't be, don't attack. Okay, so do that slowly, please, and just right hand. Yeah. Now, I know you can't reach what I'm doing, right? Okay. You try it out. Yes. You see, you can do that. And if you take your time and get used to that, you'll be able to do it faster. Okay? This is not a good fingering for it. 99 out of 100 times I like Henry's fingerings to music. This is one of the 100 times I don't like it. Okay? Because it's telling me to go, and I want to think, but with a staccato, it's melodic, right? Not da 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 da, not vertical. Try from here. See, so here's a place I would like to hear the una corda here because it mutes the piano a little bit, right? The left pedal. So don't do it here, but put the una corda down right there on that rest. Okay? Start from here. Yes, now lift it up. Shorter. That's it. More. I love this left hand here. It's one of my favorite parts of the piece. Okay? A little bit more left hand. Go ahead. Okay, not staccato. Hold a little bit longer. We want it to ring there. Okay? I like it, but don't get so much. A little swirl, not so big. Keeping the piano small range. Don't put the left pedal down. We want to hear it. We want to hear it sparkle. Start from here. Go ahead. No una corda. So no left pedal. Yes. See, I mean, it's a nice idea. You know, I'm glad you tried it, and I'm glad you're using that pedal. But we have to think about where we want it. In this section, the eighth note, it's so sparkly, right? Crystal-like. If we put the una corda down, it takes a bit of that brightness away. And it takes, you know, there's so much energy. It's a lot of fun, especially because you're setting up for that main theme. Okay? Maybe start from here and get a running start. Because this is very hard to just kind of start on that spot. So start right there. Yeah, that's tricky. Right, yeah. So, do you like the sound like that, or do you like it muted? Do you like it with the una corda?
I like
Okay. I mean, don't do it just because I said you should do it. Okay. What you should do is you should try both, right? And get comfortable to do both, because it's nice to be It may be, again, like I was saying earlier, different room, different piano, different acoustics, it might work, right? What works in here is not always going to work on another stage. So it's really important that we practice many things. I have a friend here in Vancouver, he's the assistant concertmaster of the VSO. And he said to me, when I practice a phrase, I find 5 ways to practice it out, or 5 ways to shape it. Because I don't know when I walk on stage to play it, which one of those 5 ways is going to work best based on the room. So it's like, so I have 5 ways, and I can make the adjustment as I'm going along. And this is sort of thing. If it may work with una corda in here, and it may not. But just be able to go back and forth between it. Okay? Good job, Evelyn. There you go. Okay? Congratulations. Okay.
Thank you, Evelyn. And we have last speaker for the evening, Kenny.
been working on this piece for 4 months? Good. Big piece, right? One of like the biggest of the Beethoven worlds. But you're off to a really good start. It's one of these pieces. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 18.
I didn't start this piece till I was like 28, by the way. Okay? So you have a 10-year jump on me. In fact, all the pieces that all of you played today, I didn't learn them at your age. I learned all these pieces, every single one of the pieces that you're playing, later. Okay? So it's awesome that all of you guys and gals are doing these pieces at such a young age, because I can imagine in 10 years how great these pieces are going to sound. As you get older, you learn more about the piano, you gain more experiences in making music, hearing music. You all have a very tremendous future ahead of you. So, I'm not going to talk too much about the technical things in here. You know that. You and teacher probably have a lot of solutions. It's just a work in progress. But I want to highlight some of the things that I really like about this sonata. Okay, the opening, I think, is one of the coolest things here. Okay, you're probably too young to know that this sonata was in a movie. Do you know what movie I'm talking about? Does anyone know what? It's in the movie The Goonies. The Waldstein Sonata is in The Goonies. The very first time I ever heard this piece when I was like 8 years old and I watched The Goonies, but I didn't know it was the Waldstein. Until years later when I was studying music and I was watching The Goonies again. I was like, wait, that's Beethoven. Let's start from the beginning. It's very hard to begin the opening. What I want you to think about is one full measure, and then jump in like that. It's like it's a relay race and someone's passing you the baton. And to start, it's very hard to do that. Good. Now keep softer. Now look, the first C you played with a different approach than the rest of the repeated C. It's just do the left hand fifth finger. That's all I want you to do. That's it. Do that. Okay, now let's do everything. But in your head you're going. Then you'll be in time and you'll be soft. Good. That's it. Don't get overly excited yet. Be much more reposed and restrained in the opening. So one of the things that I do in my own practice of this piece with my own students is I've literally just practiced the first measure to death. Because to come in to enter this sonata is very tricky. Stand up for a second. Okay? So I'm going to sit here and like I said, I'm kind of it's a little bit loud for me today. So you saw I'm in time. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like I'm not like doing all and then jumping into it. That's hard. Like you're trying to jump onto a train that's moving. I know you've never tried it before because you're here, right? But do that. Okay, don't even look at the music. Stare off into space or something. So you're coming. So you're not thinking about this. You're not looking here. Just stare there and think. Dun, 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 dun. Now go and fight to be soft. Don't go with that. Relax. That's better. Another thing that you can do is this. I had one of my students stand up for a second. I literally had her do this to play the piece. Instead of sitting, I just had her go so that it wasn't so stressful. Right? So you just be relaxed. Let's do that. Just stand up and play. Yeah, the first measure. That's all I really need. Do that again. Just see, there you go. That's the best one so far. Do it again. Now to sit down and do it. Don't prep yourself. Don't move your hands. Just. Yeah, it's funny. Like when you sit down at the piano, as opposed to standing up and playing, it's like it's two different things, right? You stand up and do it again. It's so much easier for you to stand. I mean, you can't start putting it standing up and then sit down. I mean, that would be really silly, right? But see how easy that was for you? Now you got to duplicate that while sitting down. Right. So you stand up, Kenny. So you're doing this. Try not to put your hand and then fist, because what you're doing is now this goes down this way. Your hand goes up, and that's why you missed the second beat, the second eighth note. Because you're doing this gesture with the first one, and then up, and then you have to reset. Right? So if the fingers are it's just that. Right? When you're up like that, you couldn't really do that because you're up and your body's like this. So, right? So don't move the wrist. Better? The left hand was very nice. The right hand slightly off. Yeah, you hear the difference? There it is, right? That one gesture moving will change everything in this. Okay? All right. So let's take a look here. Second theme. Okay? Can you tell me why the second theme is so unique?
Because it goes from like the super intense forte section to a dolce section.
Yeah, that's not uncommon though, right? In the classical style, especially with Beethoven, we hear it often. There's something else that makes it really, really intriguing. What key are we in originally?
C major.
C major. What key are we in the second theme?
E major.
Where should it really go? What key should it go to?
G major.
G major. We're nowhere near G major, right? We actually have a G sharp now. Okay? So, this is a chorale, right? So, can you start maybe the staccato stuff before? Da, 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 okay? And make this really the top note. Lots of top, make it special, right? As much. It's good to do a retard in there because part of it is because this is telling us, right, it's a D sharp diminished triad, which shares the same function as a dominant seventh chord, right? Agree? Okay, so it's kind of like it's a hiccup before the main theme or second theme. We want to hear that direction into there. Okay, so from there. See right there again. D. Yes. D. Keep going. Yeah, that's nice. This is one of my favorite moments in any Beethoven sonata is this spot. This is just now what I'd like you to do, and this is for anyone, is a great way to practice voicing. So I'm going to play the top and bottoms, and I'm going to tuck everything in. So there we go. It's too much on the inside. Switch the thumb and the F sharp. Just try that. Just no rhythm. Top, inside, top, inside. That's beautiful. Not a little too loud, right? There you go. Next one. Okay, now do the whole thing the way it's written. Alti. What do you think in terms of volume and balance? A bit better, but it still needs some refinement, right? Okay, do that again. Break it up, top, bottom, and the sides. That's exactly the sound. Now play that as a chord solid. Don't do it in your body, do it with your fingers. Relax. There you go, softer now. There. Together. Good, next one. You see, that's practice. That's how you can go in there and find the right balance. Let me show you something else that you can do. This is a Satsang exercise. In case of diminished seventh chord, adds the top note to it. Okay? Listen to how I'm going to play this solid. Each note next to diminished seventh. You can go in here and find exactly the perfect voicing because your fingers are hearing that voicing in there. So that's a really nice way to do it. Okay, so let's hear the second theme. Go ahead. You'll continue to work on the voicing at home. That's why the Satsang exercise is so important. Look where you got a voice. That's right. You got okay, go ahead and try that. Now that right hand by itself, no pedal. If you had to be very honest with yourself, what would you say?
Is the lower note too soft?
Look, it's too soft. I don't know if it's too soft, actually. I think it's actually fine. Yeah, I think the top note's too loud. Right, because you're hearing the same thing I'm hearing. You're hearing that there's not enough of this, right? And that's the thing. It's not necessarily I need to play something out more, as opposed to I need to play something less, right? Less top note. Every top note, you can slow this down. Play every top note staccato. Da, 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 dee, da, 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 da. That's right. And then if you do that, and then play it legato back up to tempo eventually, you'll be okay. Right? Okay, good. Here, let's hear this right here, please. I want to point something out to you at this spot. No sharps, right? C sharp. Okay, this is not a staccato. End of the phrase. This is not the right phrasing. The phrase extends. There should be no. I know what you did. You did exactly what the music is.
Yeah.
That's great. You know, if you follow what the music told you know. But this is not written. This is Schenker's now. This is Heinrich Schenker's editorial, performance editorial of this piece. In the autograph, there is no detached here. Okay, it's. Okay, so. when you played it the first time, you had no problems coming into there, but this one was kind of odd. Why? Because you're already playing, so you're forced to play into, you're asked to jump into that right away. Right? So you couldn't actually create a gesture. Here, because you're not doing anything, you created the gesture. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, be careful there. Just again, pointing out things. Okay, let's go from here, please. Now, again, like everybody else, when you get to this section, you pay a lot of attention to the right hand. Yeah? The left hand doesn't get much love, and you should give it love. Listen. See it? And there. Yeah. Right? What is that? What am I playing? Right. We want to hear that. You can do all this you want. You can shape it. Okay? Take it slowly there. Your left hand's an octave too low. Right here, right? Oh, no, sorry, you're right. Yeah, so you just have to take, you need to not give as much importance there. So it doesn't have to be too loud, right? You can feel little crescendos going up into there. Okay? Let's just for practice purposes, maybe mezzo piano so you can hear things a little clearer. Right, there's no note on there. Do this again. Flat. Yeah, okay, you're right. Okay, and then the next one, where is it? Just from there. Right, see, that's what we want to hear to that section, along with the noodling in the right hand. So that foundation is really important. Okay, another really interesting thing is right here, at the end of the development, when we go into the exposition. You're missing a dynamic right here. Again, you did exactly what the book is telling you to do. There should be a forte here.
So D crescendo?
Nope. Double forte, forte. Just put that in your mind for a second. How ridiculous is that?
Yeah,
a double forte contrary motion scale, and then the final note of that scale should be forte. Very hard to do. Do it slowly, and then just stop right here on a forte. Don't decrescendo, right? Right. Okay. So if you look in the vertex position of it, the baronet or the hand, you'll see a forte here. Okay? It's missing here. But so it's going to run double forte and then stop right on the forte. Okay? So, stand up for a second. Second theme should come back into which key? In yes, where does it go to? What key are we in? A major. It's really special, right? Do we ever hear that theme in C major? Do you know? Or is that it? Okay. Don't know is a good answer, by the way. It's not a terrible answer. Finally. Now, very careful here. You're doing something you're playing all this stuff with too much retard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a fermata. Keep moving. 1, 2, 3. 4. Let the fermata do the work, because here he always writes. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you retard, by the time you get here, you can't retard anymore. You're going to be so slow, it's going to drag. So do the fermata, hold, stop, whatever. Don't slow down. Slow down here all you like. Right? And really pull this back. And then whip right into tempo. Okay? Oh, this. This is another thing I want to help you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. You went. You didn't hold the fermata. The fermata comes before the scale. So you got to sit on it. Now it'd be very graceful with the second note. And then it's the second note. There, finally. No one's expecting that. Okay? So make sure you hold. All right, Kenny. Thank you for playing. Good job. Thank you all for playing. Lots of work. So it's great. Congratulations to you and your teachers, and more importantly, your parents. Okay? Please thank your parents, because they're the ones who want and believe in the value of music study and drive you to the lessons and get your books and take you to festival and take you to exams and nagging you to practice and to practice more. I know what it's like, because my mom and dad used to do that to me a lot, but I'm glad they did, because I'm where I'm in because of that. So please, at the end of the day, you've got to thank your parents and thank your teachers, because that's why you're here. And it's great that you're playing too. Is there any questions for anything? We should take a picture. I'd like to take a picture of kids at work. But also, I want to invite you, all 6 of you, if you're interested, you can get my information after. I teach at a festival in Italy every summer in a town called Cremona. Cremona is the city of violins. Cremonas are Stradivarius, Amati, Guarneri, made. The Cremonese violin school music is amazing. Right? A Stradivarius violin, $1.5 million, $2 million. My friend Roberto Cani, he's the concert master of the Alley Opera. He plays on this, beautiful Guarneri instrument. He's played $15 million Strads. The Fazioli instrument, actually, one of the things about the Fazioli, and I'm not selling the instrument, I just know about the instrument, is that in Italy they have the craftsmanship wood making is one of the main crafts of Italians. So the wood in this instrument comes from the same forest as the wood that they use in the Stradivarius and the Guarneri and all these grains. So if you're interested, it's 3 weeks in July. We have piano lessons every day with chamber music, with duets. So I've heard you all play, and if you're interested, I think you can all do very well. Talk to your parents, talk to your teachers. You're more than invited to come join me any summer. I'm always there. And they have great gelato, by the way. It's the real reason why I go there every year. But thank you. Round of applause for all the performers. Be proud of yourselves. Be hungry to get better. Chase greatness. That's my thing. Chase greatness every day. Work harder, work smarter, work better, and make music. Have fun with it. And that's what myself and my colleague Donna here from the Royal Conservatory, we love what we do. And a lot of it starts in master classes like this, and all that hard work. And we're practicing, and we really want to be outside with our friends. It's so much fun. It's so rewarding. So thank you so much for playing today. I enjoyed working with you all. I hope you gained something. I hope there's some lessons that you've learned and that will help you. Not just the pieces you're working on, but other pieces that you'll study as well. And hopefully you've heard some other fantastic pieces that maybe you want to study down the road. So thank you. We have another session tomorrow, and that will also be webcast at 10:30, so you can watch some more. Tomorrow's more intermediate. So thank you. Let's do a picture afterwards. So you want to shoot the picture? Oh yeah, and I forgot. Let's thank Showcase Academy and Showcase Piano Faziolis for providing us the space and hosting the masterclass and doing everything and the Fazioli instrument. We can't do this without Showcase. So yes.
So should we do one with students first only, and then one with everyone?
Sure, that sounds good. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So the 6 of you, and then I'll come up afterwards.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Of course, yeah. I can share this slowly. Alright, 3, 2, 1. This?
Yep.
And then the photo?
Oh yeah.
And I'll have a little bit of
Well, it's so far away from each other.
Perfect. 1, 2, 3. And do you want to all somehow turn onto the space behind the bench there? we'll just see how it play with it. Where do you want to sit?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, great. And a little tighter, a little tighter. Thank you. Next one, 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. Do we have any requests?
We good?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then do the teacher.
Or maybe she'll
All right. So we'll share this with everyone then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.